Hello and welcome back to the channel, Cali Legends Media. Before I begin, I want to thank all the subscribers. We had another good influx of subscribers. Appreciate you all. Welcome to the channel. And as I've been putting out there, we're trying to reach a 10,000 subscriber goal. And what I mean by 10,000 subscribers that watch the videos. I could have 1 million subscribers, and if only 1,000 are watching the video, you know, the whole idea of getting subscribers is inviting people to the channel to watch the videos, to participate when they feel like on the comment section, and so forth. So I appreciate if you just joined like that, but my real goal is to get subscribers that do watch and that do want to be part of this channel. Okay. And so I appreciate all of you. You know, you guys been great. Thank you very much for the support. Okay, that being said, this is gonna be kind of like a wild ride on this video. I really don't like to get too deep into other people's politics and stuff, and I'm not going to. I'm just gonna brush the surface on a few things that need to be included to make things clear about what I'm talking about. So we have Ronnie Harrell, okay, from his podcast, Ronnie on the Spot. Go check him out. Now, Ronnie, I didn't see Ronnie's channel until he started it in on dubs and started talking all this masa about dubs. Stuff we all been hearing for the past, well, as long as I've been on YouTube, about a year and a half. You know, comes in waves. You know, sometimes you won't hear about him for a while, then somebody will pop up and bring it back up, and it's the same story, same paperwork, same comments, the whole bit. Although he doesn't admit it, we all have a great idea of exactly what his standing is. Okay, we even had guys who are still functioning in the prison. One of the big four come out and share conversations he had with the people that Dubs was hanging around with. Doesn't matter. That, like I said, it's a dead issue already. You know, it is what it is. You know, it's either put up or shut up, you know. Now, dude, Ronnie came out, and that's exactly what he did. He pushed up on Dubs, right? Called him out, saying this and that about him, and pretty much discredited him. Okay, now, I've learned a lot since I've started on YouTube, and I'm sure that I have a lot more to learn. One of the things that I learned is not just watch what I say, but to watch what I say. In other words, not just in the big scheme of things, even in the small scheme of things. When you're doing a reaction or you know, if you're talking about somebody else's video, you know. Before I just go in and I'd say whatever came to mind, you know. Now I'm a little bit more careful, more respectful, because that's the way I want. If somebody has an issue with something that I put out, how I would like to be approached, you know. So I pretty much give out the energy that I would like to be approached with if somebody has something to say. So, okay, that being said, Ronnie came on the other day and he wanted to clear a few things up. Okay. I'm sure that this guy Ronnie knows that he's no good no more, you know, and I would figure he doesn't care. You know, he's pretty old now. I don't think he would be headed back to prison. Who knows? You never know, right? But definitely he won't be going back to the main line. And I'm sure the fellas on the main line feel different than what Ronnie feels about what he did. What he did was he went to he was on this yard that flipped into an SNY yard, or a 50-50 yard that the guys call it. And instead of getting off the yard, which was required by people who were active on general population, he stood there and he said, like, fuck that, I don't take orders from nobody, and yeah, I ain't taking off on nobody. Shit, I'm gonna do my time here and I'm gonna get out. And he ended up getting out 13 years earlier on another reason, for a program that the government put out. Had nothing to do with him having to be on the 50-50 yard to get out. Okay? Now, he put himself on social media, on YouTube, on this imaginary YouTube yarda, on a side of the yard that the people either didn't complete the mission, they fell off, or were kicked out, from general population. Ronnie's just another guy like that. He didn't complete the mission. He didn't do his job while he was incarcerated. When you're incarcerated, you expect to perform and act a certain way. He tapped out, basically. And like he said, he doesn't regret it. It was his decision, and he embraces it. Okay? So real good to know, Ronnie, because, a lot of people ain't going to fuck with you now that you said that. Okay. Now, I have nothing against Ronnie. If I did, it would be this, okay? During the same conversation, he used a derogatory term towards blacks. Now, we already have a thin line with the blacks and the Mexican, Hispanics, the homies, however you want to put it, on social media. Any little thing, they're yelling racism, it's racism, I was even called a racist by two bozos, and I know I'm not racist, and although what I said may have offended him, it's how I felt, and in my opinion, I don't think it was racist what I had said. I think it was something that if I was black, I would have embraced. In any case, this isn't about me. This is about Ronnie now, right? During this conversation, he talked about, yeah, I went over there and I gave it to some toads. Toads is one of the derogatory terms used to that they call blacks. There's several of them that people use that shouldn't be used, just like we don't like to be called wetbacks or fucking bean eaters or whatever the fuck people call Mexicans, you know what I mean? So Ronnie, being on social media and wanting to be this figure of a person that helps people, because he wrote a book now. He wrote a self-help book, and it's to help people, I guess, change their lives, their way of thinking. And he says he goes to different prisons to help them get out of prison, okay? And he's working with people still in prison to get them out. That's good, Ronnie. I think that's a great endeavor. Nevertheless, you can't go around calling people of different ethnicities derogatory terms. You want to do that, you could do that in your home. You could do that with your friends that feel the same. But when you come on social media and do that, people look at you a little different. You know what I mean? Like, you have social media rocking a certain way and you just jump in and you just, it's like you just bring that on board, Some people they don't want to deal with that shit, We like your stories or whatever, but let's keep it respectful. Let's keep it where anybody, any race could listen to, You mentioned that you started this new thing using the NLR's letters, and you're calling it the new lowriders. Well, that's good. They let you do that. You say you don't listen to nobody. I think you're biting off you're biting off a lot. You're taking on a lot, Ronnie. And you say it's because you put so many years in and you just got it like that. And I don't know. I'm sure a lot of them ain't feeling too swift about that. You're going to have two groups of people walking around with NLR on them. And some of them are going to feel all right to go to a 50-50 yard and kick it, or an SNY yard and kick it. And the rest are going to be, them vatos are no good. Just by the letters, you can't tell. And I have experience in that because our letters are MM. And back in the 70s, my homeboys that had MM on their face, on their foreheads, on their chins, on their neck, on the, different places would get confronted. What are those M's for? Or from my barrio, Mariana Maravilla. Well, hey, homie, well, this and that, and some of them went through some shit behind using those letters, even though those letters were being used by us long before that group came along, But still, they got a rash of shit. And, but I don't know. We're gonna see, Ronnie. We're gonna see how things go with you. I'm gonna watch your videos. You're if anything, you're a fascinating guy. You're a trip, I trip out on the things you say, how you say it and stuff. You look and talk like a veterano, like an OG, that's been there and done that, But us as being older men, we need to learn how to speak and be an example to the chavalos, to the younger generation, because believe it or not, man, I'm sure there's a bunch of young white youngsters that listen to you, Ronnie, just because where you've been, who you've been, and the stories you tell. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a good idea to let those derogatory terms come out of your mouth, or I really don't. I think just the fact that you came out that you were PC'd, because that's what that basically is. A lot of people, they're not gonna miss with you. I know, because a lot of people won't miss even with my channel because I mention you guys. So you had a good opportunity to come on strong, and nobody asked you, nobody said nothing about it. We just wanted to know about self-help and how can we help people, because you said that's what your channel's based on. So far, all we got is gang stories and other things like that. I did the same thing when I started, but I did that because I was talking about people that have already passed on and stuff. I heard back from a lot of their kids, their wives, that haven't heard stories about them in a long time, and nobody ever told me, none of their family ever told me anything negative. They were all told me thank you, they appreciated it. It's about time somebody talks about the homies that have passed on and keeping them alive, and so I don't know, I don't know if you're trying to establish who you were or what you did in the past and stuff, but I learned it's better to try to speak on things that are either going to help somebody or to bring something to light, like this video here, and a lot of times I can't pick up the phone and give you a call, so I'll do a video. I'm sure somebody's going to send it to you or tell you, hey, man, it's Stu from Kelly Legends. Mentioned you in this video or did a video, and he was talking about the comment that you made about blacks and coming from one of them yards. That's okay, I don't know. I'd be more careful. But I think it's just it's in your nature and your character to talk and say things, share things, that you feel comfortable with. Other people may not feel comfortable with everything you feel comfortable with, And I'm waiting. I'd like to see what's going to happen about that, using that NLR stuff, I'm sure they respect you because you're a veterano, you're an OG, but now you're taking it to a whole other level when you start using their monikers or their their letters and stuff like that. People are gonna, I don't know, maybe it's different in your culture. I don't know, but I know people, certain letters, certain emblems, certain pictures you don't put, you don't use, they belong to somebody already, But anyways, do your thing, Ronnie. Good luck, and we'll see how things go. Might be a good idea, just pump the brakes and make sure what's coming out, I know it's so easy just to get up and just start talking and stuff, but I think that's why a lot of us, we kind of pause for a long time, and we sometimes speak slow. I'm sure it has a lot to do with us checking ourselves, keeping ourselves on check, and I still mess up sometimes. It's a hard thing to do. You're not talking to a bunch of friends, man. The people that are watching you, a lot of them never even known you, never even met you. First impressions mean a lot, and anything you say and do will be held against you. you heard that before. Well, believe me, it's true on social media, man. You'll get called out in a minute. I had heard you made that comment, and I was like, let's see where this goes. And 16 to Life picked it up. His people notified him. He listened to it. He caught it, and he was talking about that. And he's another one that when he does his videos, even sometimes you could tell he's very upset, but he stays respectful, and he speaks in a way that people can listen, and he doesn't offend anybody, but he'll let you know that you were wrong. You know what I mean? But anyways, this is my video for today. Again, I want to thank all the new subscribers. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's very important to content creators. It helps us get our videos moving through the algorithm. Also, comment section is very important. If you guys have time, I know everybody's busy and doing your thing, and a lot of people do leave comments, and I read them all. Sometimes I'll just put a thumbs up to let you know that I've read it. Sometimes there's like already 3 or 4 thumbs up, and I'll just put another thumbs up, and just a real quick thank you, because I don't want to just ignore any of them. Sometimes I'll take a couple of days to get to them, but I will get back on the comment section first chance I get, and try to catch up. Sometimes I can't catch up, and I just have to move on. But anyways, thank you for watching. God bless you. God bless your family. Stay free, people. Stay free. Stay out from behind them walls. Stay out of these politics, and like Ronnie, you don't like to be told nothing. The worst place for you is in jail. Like myself, I don't like to be told nothing. But sometimes I need to, because I don't know something, but when to go to sleep and when to get up and go eat, and no sleeping in, and all these other things that disrupt my physical being isn't comfortable for me. I like just doing my own thing, and you can't do that in prison, and whether we like to listen to somebody or not, everybody's gonna mind somebody in prison. Remember that. So don't even go there. Stay out, whatever it takes. Your family needs you out here, especially right now. We're living some precarious times, so let's stay out here so we could be here for our families if they need us. Hope to see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.